Why you wanna play a hate on me, yeah? Why you wanna play a hate on me, yeah? Let me see if this live is working. Let me see if this live is working, baby. Eric Adams, the mayor of the great state of New York. New York City, grab me a rope. Has been player hated on. Let's see if this is working. Let me see. Can you see if it's working? It's working. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. How about the sound? How about the sound? Sound, let me know thumbs up, thumbs down on the sound. Takes me a while to get around to it. Figuring out where it is. Eric Adams. Working, thumbs up. Oh, yeah, there it is. I started off with Eric Adams today. And the things that you only say in private. And as I thought about it, some other things started to occur to me. I'm like, oh, Eric Adams. Yeah. He's been to some stuff. He's been through some stuff. Let me share this real quick. Tuning in on the late night. Black Lives Matter snitches on New York Mayor Eric Adams. That was me reading it to make sure that I spelled it right because, you know, I be moving fast. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, yep, he definitely got snitched on in the worst way. Let me share this real quick. See who is up and who is down for the evening. Eric Adams. And he's going through it right now. Well, he's trying to push initiatives that I don't know if I necessarily fully agree with. Crime is going crazy, I guess, in New York. I think murder rates is going up, not just in New York, across the country. If you look at crime is on the rise. And apparently when crime is on the rise, this is your guy, Mr. Eric Adams, former police officer, chief of police, big wig when it comes to being a police officer. But Mr. Eric Adams, my friend, mi compadre, he's not really my friend or my compadre. I don't know, man. I think he's trying to do all that tough on crime. He's going to take it back to the stop and frisk type of policing. And I don't know exactly how I feel about that. But Mr. Eric Adams, buddy boy right here, he got caught on tape. And, you know, I'm going to let you listen to it just for some clarity so you can know what he said. These are things that you only want to say amongst people you trust. He said it. He was at a private event, but it wasn't private enough. And he got snitched on by BLM. I'm going to show you how he got snitched on BLM. And when I saw it, I laughed. I'm sorry, I laughed. I don't know if I'm a hypocrite, whatever you may. Hey, call it what you want. But it was hilarious. So let's look and see what he said. And of course, he apologized, which I think was right. I think this was a right and just apology. But it's funny.
And now to an apology from Mayor Adams for an inappropriate comment he made in 2019 about white police officers.
The video was made public today, and CBS 2's political reporter Marsha Kramer investigated. Although he apologized to New Yorkers late today, Mayor Adams tried to put the comment in context, saying he was responding to a question in which the inappropriate comment was used, and he repeated it as part of his answer.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable in the police department.
A furor tonight over the
Every day on the police department, I kicked them crackers' ass. I was unbelievable on the police department. Hey, man, he sound like some type of superhero to me. But here, let's listen to it again. Let's listen to it again, and we're gonna go a little further because when I first heard it, I was done for the night. I was about to go over my buddy's house, light a cigar, and when I heard it, but as I listened to it. You know, I just catch things sometimes. And I said, ooh, he got told on. He got told on. And we should have seen this coming. But listen to this again. Should I call it funny? Am I a hypocrite? Because if a white person was to say something like this about a black person, I'd probably be jumping off the roof, right? So am I a hypocrite? Yeah. Oh, well. So let's listen to this real quick. And it's funny. I was drinking some water and I almost spit it out. And I said, oh, wow. What was he doing? Where was he at? He knows there are cameras. And this is while he's running for mayor. Right before he's gearing up to run for mayor, he out there giving a speech, sleeves up, with the people, it looks like. It's a private event, but he looks like he's talking. He looks like he's selling to me. He looks like he's selling. And again, when it comes to Eric Adams, I don't quite necessarily agree with all the tactics that Eric Adams is trying to implement right now. He wants to go back to like that stop and frisk, like, hey, you look guilty. Come here. Hey, let me talk to you. Get your ass up on that wall. Get your ass up on that wall. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. I don't like that. I do not like that. You know what I'm saying? The jump outs. He wants more undercovers. He wants to put more police. And I don't necessarily know if policing by itself is the only way to stop crime. You know, I think a lot of innocent people end up getting in trouble and becoming victimized by the police when you just unleash more personalities into the streets. And that's what happens. So when he says that to me, the first thing come to my mind, I'll be like, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. And there has to be something else to it. But let's get back to this right here. I don't know. Let me know if I shouldn't be laughing at it. You tell me.
Which the inappropriate comment was used, and he repeated it as part of his answer.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable in the police department.
A furor tonight over the sudden posting on social media.
All right, we're going to go through and I'm going to show you where he got caught. But I'm going to also show you how it should be obvious. Like, Black Lives Matter have something to do with this, and they are extortionists. Geniuses. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. The way that they play things, it's leverage. It's political. It's late. I know a lot of people don't like talking about politics, but if you pay attention to some parts of it, it's just like your favorite soap opera. And this is a clear example right here. So let me get back into this, and it's not long. I just want to show you where he got snitched on. And why he got snitched on.
Of a racially charged comment made by Eric Adams during a December 2019 appearance at the Harlem Business Alliance. The man who posted the video, Thomas Lopez Pierre of the Black Lives Matter real estate firm.
Gotcha, bitch. Who was that posted it? Who? Listen closely. Listen closely, my friends. Listen closely.
Business Alliance. The man who posted the video, Thomas Lopez Pierre of the Black Lives Matter real estate firm, told me that he purposely picked the clip he posted.
Black Lives Matter real estate. I don't know if she said farm or something like that, whatever she said. But that's who posted it. That's who posted the video. And now the funny part is you get to hear why he posted the video. Let's listen to why he posted the video.
Lives Matter real estate firm told me that he purposely picked the clip he posted, which was in the middle of a half-hour appearance by the mayor. Why did you pick that specific point to start your
Her room is a mess. This lady is busy. I'm sorry. I know this is kind of like off course. It's off course. But, you know, I think, man, some people be all worried about the way they stuff look before they go live or before they go on camera or before they walk outside. Look at Murphy Brown right here. Look. She looks like, you know, press pass. This is a lady on the go. This is a lady on the go. She obviously has a lot to do. Here, let me put her back down here. I know that didn't have nothing to do with nothing, but, you know, I just happened to notice that she was like, hey, you know, the whole world is going to see this. Millions of people will see this. Hundreds of thousands of people will see this. Forget cleaning my room. I got a job to do. She's a hustler, baby. I just want you to know it ain't where you been. It's where you're about to go.
your clip?
Because we live in a social media world, and I knew it would be attention grabbing.
Thomas Lopez Pierre also telling me he didn't
Now, is that he said I showed it because we live in a social media world and I knew it would be attention grabbing. Now, is that not the definition of snitching? Right? So Black Lives Matter told on Eric Adams. They told on him. Hey man, we live in a social media world, you know, it's social media, it's the Twitters, it's the Instagrams, the YouTubes, it's the Clubhouses, and, you know, everybody's chasing clout. Everybody going after it. Everybody, I mean, him, her, me, you, everybody. And so that's what's going on right here, and I'm still amazed at her room, but that's here nor there. But again, BLM outright told on him. Let's get a little bit more on why they told on him.
Why don't you start your clip?
Because we live in a social media world, and I knew it would be attention grabbing.
Thomas Lopez Pierre also telling me he didn't release video of the appearance at the time because he thought it would hurt Eric Adams' chances of being elected mayor. He moved now, he said.
He said he didn't release it because he thought it would hurt his chances of being mayor. And I thought about it. I said, that's noble. That's noble. And I do think that is noble. And I think that is a good way to play politics, because he was also thinking to himself, if he slip and trip and don't do what I say, I also have something on him. So with this footage, can I make him my pawn? Ha, 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 ha. Let's see what happened.
Because he thinks Adams has been spending too much time talking about hiring more cops and not about improving the economic health of minority communities.
And that I agree with. See, I don't agree with a lot when it comes to Black Lives Matter, but that right there, I agree with. Me and you see the same thing. When we see eye to eye, we agree with. But everything else we don't agree with. My eyes don't see what you see with. But on this, I agree that we agree with. Let's see. I'm gonna play some more of this guy over
All
here.
I've been hearing is cops this, cops that. You know, listen, Black people have been getting killed. There have been more Black people killed this year than police officers. Police officers decided to put on a uniform. They decided to take the risk.
Lopez Pierre, whose brother was killed by an off-duty cop during a carjacking, is no stranger to controversy. Running for city council in 2017.
City council in 2017. So my guess will be that Mr. Pierre over here, this way Pierre, right here, is eventually going to run for something. Again. And I think this is his entry point. But he still snitched on Eric Adams, right or wrong. Did he not snitch on Eric Adams? I see you laughing, Chopper. He snitched on Eric Adams. Said it straight out. But let's look a little bit deeper at this. The political gamesmanship played by this guy right here, him right here, is phenomenal. He caught Eric Adams saying something that he clearly knew he could make the news with. And at that point in time, he had to make a decision. Should I put this out here now and derail his, his run for mayor, his candidacy? And if I do that, then it all depends. Does he have any dirt on the other candidates or a moment where they slipped like that? Because if he would have gave it up then and then don't have any leverage on the other people that were running, then, he would have it would have been like, that was a waste. But what he did was hold on to it in his back pocket. He held on to it in his pocket. And when Eric Adams got to talking about all these extra police officers and we're going to put more undercovers on the streets and this is how we're going to get tough on crime, and I don't think that is the only way to do it. I don't think that's the holistic way of doing it when it comes down to reducing crime, especially when you look at the social economic ramifications that it hurts, that it causes, when you start wrapping up people and destroying families, and the economics and the causes that has made it this way. Because these things just don't happen in a vacuum. They just don't happen on accident. They just don't happen because a bunch of people say, you know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? Hey, Eric, you know what I want to do? I want to do a bunch of crimes. That's normally not the reason why this happens. And so, there's other things that you can do. You got to put some money in the community. You got to give the kids something else to do. You got to put other things in their mind. You got to kind of start changing perceptions of what's cool. It takes actual work, not just throwing people on the wall, because that hurts. And it don't work. And it's not good. It's not good, all right? And let's play some more of this because it gets a little deeper.
He tried to use $100,000 in taxpayer dollars taken from public campaign matching funds to spread anti-Semitic hate attacks against his opponent, Councilman Mark Levine. Late today, Adams apologized.
Inappropriate comments should not have been used. Someone asking me a question using that comment.
He said, look, somebody asked me a question with that word in it. So basically, here, let's look at it like this. For somebody to ask him that question, they would have had to ask him a question with the word cracker in it. Hey, Mayor, how did you treat them crackers when you was a police officer? That's basically what he's saying. He's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I was just responding to the question the way it was asked. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't planned. I didn't write it out. I was just simply responding to the question the way it was asked.
Funds to spread anti-Semitic hate attacks against his opponent, Councilman Mark Levine. Late today, Adams apologized.
Inappropriate comments should not have been used. Someone asking me a question using that comment and playing on that word, I responded in that comment. But clearly, it's a comment that should not be used, and I apologize not only to those who heard it, but to New Yorkers, because they should expect more from me, and that was inappropriate.
The police unions are standing four square with Adams, both the PB.
Listen to that. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be quite honest, because this guy, sit down. Just make sure you're ready for this. This is big news. This is huge. It's big news. If you can't tell, he's black. He's black. He is black. But the scary part is this. The police union is still backing him. don't make sense. Something about that does not make sense. And what that leads me to believe is this. It leads me to believe that they are so into the tough on crime to where they're going to look past him saying, I was, look how I was tough on them crackers. Normally that is something, and let's just be honest, normally that is something that they would hone in on. Police officers, I mean, who was it? Bellagio, didn't they turn their back on him? They turned their back on him, literally. I see you dancing, Chopper. I see you dancing over there. You want me to hit it again? If you do the little dancing emojis again, I'll hit it again. The long version. The long version. But there's something that made me just automatically just, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. When I heard her say that the police unions are pretty much just unequivocally standing behind him. And I know that like the Fraternal Order of Police, they normally stand behind their officers, but there's just a little something different. I mean, and I'm going to give room to change. Maybe there's some change happening, but I don't think it's just change happening. I think it's the fact that he's so tough on crime to where like they're looking past it. Because he literally, he made a joke. He was like, I did them crackers. And that's not exactly what he said, but the cracker part was really in there. And they really, really giving him a pass. And, it just made me wonder why. And let me know am I overanalyzing this? Is it just one of those, they're all police and police are going to take up for other police officers? Is it one of those things? Am I overanalyzing it? Or do you guys kind of think what I'm thinking, like, wait a minute.
Gotcha, bitch.
Are they playing me? Are they trying to embrace him because he's going to be locking people up? I don't know.
Because they should expect more from me, and that was inappropriate.
The police unions are standing four square with Adams. Both the PBA and the detectives union say actions speak louder than words. And Adams' support for cops being shot and killed says with Adams. Both the PBA and the detectives union say actions speak louder than words.
See, they throwing the pressure on him. Now they saying, we hear you. But actions speak louder than words. Oh, I see you with the dance. You want the long version. The PBA, they're telling him that actions speak louder than words. So they're still leaning on him. And I just look at these things, and maybe I do overanalyze it, but when you put yourselves in this position, think about it. The same way that BLM held this tape for leverage over him, do you think that the union and other police officers and pro-police interest, do you guys think that they're going to hold this as leverage over him? Because they're letting him get away with it right now, and it still make me say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. And they're letting him just slide. I mean, not too much condemnation, but they are saying actions speak louder than words. That's it. I don't know how to feel about that, Mr. Adams.
With Adams, both the PBA and the detectives union say actions speak louder than words. And Adams' support for cops being shot and killed says it all. A few seconds of video will not define our relationship, said PBA President Pat Lynch. In the newsroom, I'm Marcia Kramer, CBS 2 News.
And now
And Pat Lynch is a dog. And I've had things to say about Pat Lynch in the past. I've even done shows on Pat Lynch. I think he's the worst type of human that there is. And he's defending this guy? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to keep my eye on Eric Adams and see what's really, really going on over there in the NYC. I'm going to see what's going on over there in the NYC. That was his apology right there. Let me put him back up here on the screen. Look over there, looking like Rocky. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Charles S. Dutton. But I hope that he takes a fair-minded approach to criminality, because I do understand that is a tough position to be seeing crime raise. And nobody wants crime, let's be honest, nobody wants crime just rising and murder rising, homicides and thefts and all these type of just violence happening around you. Nobody really honestly wants that. So he does have to do something. So I don't want to sit here and act like he don't have to do anything. There is something that he has to do. It is his job. He's the mayor. But I hope he just don't lean too much on the pro-police harassment side, when a lot of people start getting wrapped up in unnecessary things, because those things lead to more problems. You get wrapped up for no reason. Let's say they're looking for somebody. They take you to county jail because you look like somebody. While you're in county jail, you see somebody you don't like from the other side of town. They don't like you. You guys get into a scuffle. Now they're going to book you because you got a new charge. Now you got a new charge. You in there. You're losing your job. It's all, it's just too much stuff that happens that's actually very common from over-policing. And so my fear is that the over-policing will have too many, innocent casualties involved. So it has to be something that has other things incorporated with it than just, I'm going to throw your ass on the wall, take you in here and, lock you up.
Gotcha, bitch.
That can't just be it. That can't just be it. All right? There has to be another holistic approach to it where you're bringing in things from the community. There has to be some type of conversations. There has to be some type of understanding. There have to be some type of nurturing. It can't just be all, I'm just going to throw you on the wall, pat you down, catch you, who we catch is who we catch, because there are going to be people that get wrapped up into it. And you got to think about it. If crime goes up, there's going to be some people carrying guns, not because they're about to try to do no crimes, but because they're trying to protect themselves. And so it's going to be, I don't know. But look, hold on. This is the other side of it. This is where BLM, where Black Lives Matter, where they come in even more. See, this is what I mean. I should have known they had something on him. I should have known. Now, and you're going to see why. You're going to see why.
Meanwhile, Mayor-elect Eric Adams has promised to be tough on crime when he takes office, in part by bringing back some controversial police tactics.
But after a recent meeting with
That's what I've been talking about like the last few minutes about this guy. He's going to bring back some controversial police tactics. That means throw you up against the wall, take what you got. You know what I'm saying? And you going to jail. We're going to mess with you, ruin a whole bunch of lives. That's my opinion of how that goes. And I've had these things like happen. I was coming, it was Mother's Day one year. Mother's Day, I don't know, probably, wow. You know what? It was 18 years ago. It was 18 years ago. I can say exactly when it was because my wife was pregnant with my daughter. And we lived in some apartments. And we're in Southern California. We live in some apartments. And I'm backing out of the apartment. And this is just kind of how, like, you can get wrapped up in the things that have absolutely nothing to do with you. So I back out of my garage to go get something for my wife and my mother for Mother's Day. And as I back out of the garage, I hadn't been anywhere else all day. All day. I hadn't been out of the house. I hadn't even looked out the damn window. So I back out. And as I back out, as soon as I'm backing out and I'm about to put the car in first gear, because it was a stick shift, I hit the reverse, slide over in neutral, go into first gear, and take off. A police officer turns right at the corner because we're close to the corner of the apartment where, you turn off and go to the other side. So he turns and he comes right behind me as I'm starting to drive forward. So I drive all the way around to the front, make a right, put on my blinker. I know they're behind me, fully aware. Driving slow, make a left, go out of the apartment. Again, I'm fully aware. Looking in the mirror, he make a left too. Oh, shit. Here we go. So now I'm like, all right. Put on my blinker, and I'm thinking to myself, no way. We're both just leaving, right? So I put on the blinker, make a right. Come to the next, not the stop sign, but the next street, slow down, fully aware, police are behind me. Put on the blinker, make a left. Soon as I make a left, the police officer jumped me. Burp! I said, oh, man, what's really going on?
Gotcha, bitch.
They pulled me over. She pulled me over, make me get inside. No, it wasn't the she yet. They pulled me over, come up to the car, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like,
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
walk up to me, roll down the window. License and registration. All right. Look for the glove compartment. He said, you know what? Don't even reach for that. Get your ass out the car. I'm like, what? Get your ass out the car. And he's looking at me, and the look in his face is like confused. Like he's just telling me something just to tell me. You don't quite know why he's telling me, but he's, get your ass out the car. And I'm like, hey, man, I don't know about just getting out the car. It doesn't even make sense. You just got behind me leaving out of my apartment, and now he's starting to reach for shit. And I say, I'm okay. I'm out. I get out the car, handcuffs me. I mean, like, right away. I'm still kind of trying to ask, like, what's going on here? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? And as I'm saying that, turn around, put me up against the car, lean me up, my chest on the window. She's like, lift my, when they lift your shit up all back like crazy, put you all up on the window, smushed all, you all like this. You smushed all on the damn window like that. And I'm still asking him, what did I do? So now he laid me on the ground and walked to his car. Laid me on his ground, walked to his car. You know what I'm saying? I'm laying on the ground, so like, he's sitting in his car, like calling backup or whatever, and I'm laying on the ground, I'm handcuffed, and I'm thinking to myself, like, this is uncomfortable. Should I, like, kind of roll over and sit on the curb? Because this is really uncomfortable. I got, like, I'm on the gravel, I'm on the cement like this, like, in the curb where that shit's nasty, laying down, handcuffed. And he's just looking at me and shit, sitting in the car. And I'm still wondering, what did I do? Now I hear, whoop. I'm like, shit, they taking me to jail. Backup is the sign that you're going to jail. If you've never been in these situations, you don't understand. I'm going to tell you this. As long as it's one police officer, something that normally means, it probably maybe just a ticket. But when you hear that, whoop, 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 damn. So now, 2, 3, done came. And a lady get out. Black lady. She walk up to me, get up, get in the car. And I'm like, what I do? Why you rob Payless? Rob Payless? So I done got bumped up, laid on the curb. I never got to go get my mom and my wife nothing for Mother's Day that day, apparently. And I normally didn't wait till the last minute, and that day I did. I think I didn't get them anything that year, and if I did, I don't know how, or it was late. And so they wrapped me up, and this lady is being the biggest jerk in the world. And in my mind, I started to think, like, just based on the way she was acting, I'm like, she has something to prove. She was the only black officer. There was like 4 or 5 other white officers. No, let me take that back. There were like 3 Hispanic officers and 1 black officer, and I think like 2 white officers. This is Southern California. And they really just don't kind of know anything. It's just, I feel like they just need somebody to take to jail, like somebody done messed up. And so either way you go, she's talking all kind of trash, this, that, the third. I'm like, can you please not tow my car? He just seen me leave. I haven't even went a whole mile from when I left my house. Can you not tow my car? She said, I'm towing this mother. But she didn't. Because another officer, one of the Hispanic officers, came over there, the one who actually got behind me in the first place, and he was like, I'm not going to tow your car. I'm not going to tow your car, and I'm going to take you in. She's not going to take you in. And I'm like, what are you, pay less? Where's the shoes? I just left my house. You just got behind me, and you know that. Okay, where's the shoes? I ain't bought no shoes from Payless since I was a kid. Last time I got some shoes from Payless, my parents, I asked them for some Jordans for Christmas. I'm telling on y'all. And they got me a pair of Cheetahs. That was the last time I got some shoes from Payless. Damn it. And I'm about to go to jail for robbing a Payless for shoes because I know they don't got no money. I know they don't got no money. So anyway, they end up handcuffing me like, I was already handcuffed, but they end up putting me in the car, taking me down. Before they did that, they made my wife walk from the apartment all the way down to where the car is, which isn't that far, but it's about a half mile. The catch was she was 9 months pregnant. Come get your car. Your husband's on the ground face down. And I don't know if they told her why. I'm going to have to ask her one day. Did they ever tell you why you had to walk down there? And what did you think? Damn well that Payless? Damn. Daddy taught me better than that. Mama taught me better than that, right? So either way it goes, I go to the jail cell. They check me in. West Valley, Fontana, California. It stinks. Stinks. Walk in there and they booking me. They put me in this room in a cell, a holding cell with all these people. I'm sitting there. And if you ever been in the jail system in Southern California in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, it was a gang thing. So now you walking in, where you from? Where you from? Where you from? Oh, shit. And I didn't steal no shoes from Payless. So I'm in there. And then they call my name. Irvin, come on out. And so while I'm coming out and another guy's coming in, there's a guy about 6'3". He's darker than me, and I'm dark, but he's darker than me. He got a long ponytail, skinny, sucked in. And as he's coming in and I'm coming out, he's the guy who robbed the damn Payless. Now, what would have happened if they didn't catch him? That's a story I haven't told many people. What would have happened if they didn't catch him? I got all kind of stories. Been arrested a bunch of times for stuff that I had nothing to do with. Not a whole bunch of times, but enough. That's one for right now. So getting back to Eric Adams, sorry I took you guys for that detour right there. But getting back to Eric Adams, that's why I don't like just the over policing approach, because at that point in time in the neighborhood I was in, it was being over patrolled. They were having these different police raids and stings, and very much like the stop and frisk, but they have it different. They had different names, and Operation Phoenix and Operation Sunshine, and that basically meant we're kicking indoors. If we see you walking, we're stopping you. We're asking for probation papers. If you three are hanging out, we're harassing you guys. And it caused a bunch of mayhem. And most of the people they got was people that it created more problems than what they were solving. And it created problems in people's lives. Now, okay, so I understand they're trying to get people off of the streets that may be doing wrong, but when you start creating these people, these problems in these people's lives, now when they get out, now you really got a problem. Now you really got a problem, because he done lost his job when he went to jail. So either way it go, let's get back to this. So this is how he got caught. Well, we just seen how he got caught before I took you guys on that long detour. My bad. But this is the leverage. Let's look at this. And this is Black Lives Matter activists getting all in his grill.
Adams, Black Lives Matter activists threatened riots and bloodshed if he follows through. Fox 5's Kayla Malek is live in downtown Brooklyn with more.
I'm not gonna lie. And I'm gonna make this quick and get back to it. Black Lives Matter, the organization, I do not agree with them at all. But the smaller chapters that are out there in the street, I'm going to have to honestly say this, and I don't mean that people see, and that's the terrible part about the organization of Black Lives Matter, is they encapsulized people's imagination with a catchy slogan. And the smaller people that took the catchy slogan and also are really out here doing the work under that mantra that don't get a lot of credit, they didn't get none of the money. See, now if you look and see, Black Lives Matter is literally getting investigated, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. They're getting investigated for all this money coming up missing, $90 million in like 1 year that they raised, and money went here, money went there, different situation. But these small chapters be getting all in a grill. And like I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, some of these things that this guy said, I don't know if I'd have the courage to say. Not right there in front of the popo. Remember, I done been face down on the cold cement. I done been face down on the warm cement. I don't want to be face down on no more cement.
Fox 5's Kayla Malek is live in downtown Brooklyn with more details. It's pretty incredible to hear a group saying those two words to the incoming mayor.
Yeah, absolutely, Bianca. It's rattled a whole lot of people. Now, keep in mind, this meeting also marks the first time Black Lives Matter of Greater New York leaders has ever sat down with an incoming or sitting mayor. Eric Adams.
That's why I said, from what I played earlier, the reason he got caught for making that comment, and I'll play the comment again before we leave because it's very short, but he said, you see the way I was out there doing them crackers? And there was a Black Lives Matter, I think it was Black Lives Matter Real Estate or Black Lives Matter something, but he's attached to Black Lives Matter. He recorded it and held on to it. Now, this is what I'm talking about, leverage. If you pay attention to what she said, she said it's the first time I think some type of elected official had sat down and spoke with chapter leaders of Black Lives Matter. And I'm wondering, did that happen because they like, we got something on you, buddy. We got something on you.
And Black Lives Matter of Greater New York leaders has ever sat down with an incoming or sitting mayor. Eric Adams seemingly agreeing with the activists' ideas on how to combat poverty in the Black community. But things got heated when the conversation turned to police reform.
If they think that they're going to go back to the old ways of policing, then we're going to take to the streets again. There will be riots.
He said there will be riots. and he don't look like he playing. Now, I don't know if I agree with riots, and I'm not trying to sound like docile or scary or nothing like that. That has nothing to do with it. I believe when you go into these things, you got to have something that you want as an outcome. And so I don't know if riots are what's going to get it, just to be honest. But I do know that he got the courage to get out there and say, if he does do this, there will be riots. This is the thing when it comes to riots. Sometimes you can overcorrect. And so if you riot too much, or if the riots cause too much effect, that's just going to cause more police involvement. Like if we look at what's going on right now, like in like the Capitol, that everything, or in Seattle and other places, and where they had a lack of police presence over the last year or so, now they're ramping up on police. You see what I'm saying? Or places where the riots are happening and stuff like that, now they are overdoing it with police. Those places now have an over concentration of police because they're overcorrecting from the under concentration of police when these things were happening, like in Kenosha. And so now, like, that's when I just look at these things strategically. You riot, you do this, you do that. What happens after? What political agenda do you have going into this? Who's going to be on the other side to push the legislation and the lobby in the right ways? Or are you going to just riot because they are just going to shoot people's asses and be like,
Gotcha, bitch.
That's what's gonna happen. So I don't know, man. Let's listen to him again. But again, like I said, I'm not condemning what the man is saying. I'm not saying he's nothing wrong about him. I'm just saying, I'm just looking at it strategically, and you let me know what you think.
But things got heated when the conversation turned to police reform.
If they think that they're going to go back to the old ways of policing, then we're going to take to the streets again. There will be riots, there will be fire, and there will be bloodshed.
Leaders of the Black...
And then there's some people say if you want change, that's the only way you get it. So, you know, I'm let me know if you watching, what do you think? What do you think? It's the late night? So we just talking tonight. Would you say, Jeremiah? You could have pressed charges for violation of your Fourth Amendment. Man, you know how much it costs to go up against the police? And that's dangerous. True story. San Bernardino, California. What year is this? 2010, 11, something like that. There was a guy that I knew that was suing the police officers because they beat him up. They were caught. It was caught red-handed. Done, right? And the trial took like a long time. It took over a year, but they kept harassing him. Long story short, they end up shooting and killing him, saying that he was lunging at a police officer. This was something after his 26th, 27th stop. So this time he lunged at the police officer. They shoot him. Well, he ain't get his money. He ain't get his justice. And I'm not saying that, you know, that should stop you from trying to pursue what's right. I'm just saying, dang, that's messed up. Over there on Mountain View, and I think it was Highland, right over there in that area. So be careful if you're over there. Be very careful. It gets rough. It gets tough. And like I said, but what I am pointing to also is the fact that they caught him saying that, held it, and then he's the first elected official to give Black Lives Matter the conversation. And they get in there and they saying, hey, they are demanding something. They saying, you better not go back to those tactics. And I wouldn't go back to those tactics either. I just don't know about threatening the riot in advance. You know, like there's charges that could be levied after that. I don't know, strategically, you guys. Let me know what you're thinking about it, and let's go over here.
Lives Matter movement threatening violence on New York City streets if Mayor-elect Eric Adams reinstates the NYPD's controversial anti-crime unit when he takes office next year.
So there's no way that we're going to let some Gestapo come in here and harm our people, right? We pray for peace, but Black Opportunities prepares for the worst.
Co-founder of BLM's Greater New York chapter, Hawk Newsome, saying this after a heated meeting with Adams at Brooklyn Borough Hall.
If you're telling me that I need to do this, if you're saying that I need to do this.
The sit-down taking place behind closed doors, but was live-streamed on Instagram by an attendee. While Adams and the activists did find common ground on issues surrounding policing in the Black community, the former NYPD captain has vowed to bring back the anti-crime unit.
And that's the problem, see? And that's the problem, see? And I'm here saying I don't know about the rioting or announcing the rioting and stuff like that, but Eric Adams is trying to bring back that, get on the ground, for everybody walking up the street. Just that fit the profile. I fit the profile of everybody that did a crime in the last 15 days. That's the danger in that. So, but let's still look at the political. Let's look at what's going on because politics is still involved. Black Lives Matter had a tape of him talking about, you see the way I do these crackers? And they said, and he come out and they said, why did you release it now? He said, because we live in a social media world. I knew people would pay attention. But he also have a grievance, the same grievance that these people had, this representative of Black Lives Matter had, and this was a while ago. So they have already had beef. That's what I'm talking about. They already had beef with Eric Adams, and he just keep on bumping them gums on that over-policing stuff, and they said, all right, we're going to put it out there. We're going to put it out there. And so I'm going to be honest with you, when it comes to, this is politics. It's not about what's emotional. It's not about necessarily what's right. It's about leverage and getting what you want. I'm going to have to go ahead and say Black Lives Matter was preaching on this. That's enough. They got him. They got him. They gotcha, bitch. And I do hope that the pressure is used to make him, really, really think about it. But he like, we about to get out here and riot. I think that's just giving them a good reason to already have a higher presence of police.
A task force of mostly plainclothes officers, which was disbanded at the height of the Black Lives Matter protests last year. The conversation escalating when Newsome told Adams the organization would hold him accountable for any future police misconduct.
As they should. He's the mayor. He's the boss of the police chief. He's the El Capitan who runs the show. When he walk in, everybody stand up, chest out, head forward. And so, yes, he should be held responsible. And it's weird. I don't often agree with Black Lives Matter, but we also have to remember there's a big difference between these chapters who are out here putting work and the organization who has now disbanded cannot no longer receive donations in a lot of big cities. The head of it, she bought a whole bunch of houses and kind of disappeared. And now they're talking about that she had a whole bunch of different other charities and things of that nature, or these good-hearted organizations, air quotes, that she was sending money to through each other. Like basically, hey, we're going to raise money and we're going to donate money to this initiative. And that other initiative was also something that that belonged to you. So now they're going through that. That's a whole nother story we'll get to maybe tomorrow.
Hold me accountable? Yeah. I'm holding you accountable. You get on the ground, stop the violence in my community. I'm holding you accountable.
We have actively been trying to hold the NYPD accountable. What are you going to do to hold the NYPD accountable for their unlawful actions?
Brother, have you been living under a rock?
And that's when his true politician came in. He said, what are you going to do? No, I want specific answers. Have you been living under a rock? Have you seen what I've been doing since I've been Columbo? Have you seen it?
No, I've been doing that I did it in the department.
In America?
Yeah.
Miss York, what up, sis? How you doing? We over here. Look, I'm gonna show you real quick. This guy right here, the mayor of New York, he got caught saying something that you should only say at home. That you should only say with people you really trust that will not leak a tape on you. But it was a member of Black Lives Matter. Well, an affiliate, they're a member of Black Lives Matter real estate or land or something like that, but they're attached to Black Lives Matter. They caught him saying it. They held on to it. And now he's talking all this crazy stuff about over-policing, and they released the tape. And so now I'm showing them, like, getting into it with them way before they released the tape. But I think they had the leverage on him. And so now they had to go on and let it go.
The mayor-elect also citing his 35 years in public service and promising to continue that work. But it wasn't enough for the activists who wanted Adams to commit to passing more than a dozen pieces of police reform legislation.
We have people in city council who can create problems for him.
We have people in city council who can create problems for him. And see, that's what I'm saying. This whole story is all over the place. It's all over the place because this guy is letting it known, because when they say Black Lives Matter isn't a political organization, we got people all in city council that can make his life bad, baby. We gonna make they gonna be like, gotcha, bitch. They got people that can make his life hard. And so, and like I said, I'm not saying that's actually a bad thing. Again, there's a difference between these activists that are out here actually trying to make something happen and the overall and the bigger national organization who was getting fat in the pockets. Not only were they getting fat in the pockets, the people who were like putting them out there, the people that are kind of like, nobody's talking about. I'm not just talking about the leaders, because they had a lot of help behind the scenes. The people behind the scenes who made not the little money, but the big, big money, who nobody's talking about. Who they are. I'm talking about them, not these people that are on the ground.
We have people in city council who can create problems for him. We have people in the streets who can create problems for this administration.
In the streets.
But worth.
Now listen to how this lady acted. Now listen to her reaction to what he just said. And this is why I'm saying I just think everything has to take strategery and sometimes a touch. I don't think it always takes just brute force. Like, it ain't always about brute force. Sometimes you gotta finesse. It's politics. And the problem is people like Eric Adams already know how to play politics. Because if you go off of his first clip where he's talking about, you see what I do with these crackers? Now take that and then juxtapose that to the other side of him, the tough on crime. We're going to have more cops. We're going to bring back the undercover units, get them up against the wall and get them in jail. Those are two separate people living inside one man, or he's just a political animal. Say what you got to say to get what you got to get, but what side do your heart lie? I guess that's the question. But listen to how she reacts to it. This lady is terrified.
Noting as he transitions to become the second black mayor in New York City history, Eric Adams seems far more focused on fixing New York City's surging crime problem. In an interview yesterday, Adams said that he wants to push Albany to fix bail reform legislation from last year once he takes office. He says the legislation takes it a step too far by allowing those charged with illegal possession of a gun to go free without bail. For now, we're live here in
which is also a larger conversation, because bail reform, it's a classist type of thing. It's all based on economics, and it's not fair. So if we're living in a fair, equitable country, I can't say a fair, equitable world, because we know that's not true. And we also know that about the country. But if we're pretending, we have to have an overall talk about that, because everybody caught everything isn't what meets the eye. Like I said, I got arrested for robbing the Payless, and they hadn't been to Payless in 20 years.
Downtown Brooklyn. Bianca, send it back inside to you.
All right, Kayla, thank you so much for the update.
Thanks so much for the update. Well, look, you guys, this one I'm going to do real quick for the people that came in late. And even if you were already here, it's something that you should hear. We going to talk about this Black Lives Matter stuff, what's going on with them currently, more maybe tomorrow, maybe Sunday, but before Monday. We are going to talk about that, but I do want you guys to hear what Eric Adams said and how he got caught one more time for the people that wasn't here. It's not that many of us. So just check it out real quick. I think it's hilarious. I laughed. I don't know if I'm a hypocrite for laughing because, like I said, if this was somebody of another race saying this about somebody black, maybe I think I might be like, oh, that's messed up. I'm never going to listen to his stuff again. I will never vote for him. And so, it's making me sit back and think about it as a person. And I'm just, again, I'm just subjective with these things that I say. So I look at things from every lens that I possibly can, to my capacity. Come on, Eric. Let's make everybody laugh.
Meanwhile, Mayor-elect Eric Adams has promised to be tough on crime when he takes office, in part by bringing back some controversial police tactics.
But after a recent meeting with Adams, Black Lives Matter activists.
That ain't even the right one. Let me see. Let's get over here to Adams. Where he at? Where is he at? Here we go.
And now to an apology from Mayor Adams for an inappropriate comment he made in 2019 about white police officers.
The video was made public today, and CBS 2's political reporter Marsha Kramer investigated.
Although he apologized to New Yorkers late today, Mayor Adams tried to put the comment in context, saying he was responding to a question in which the inappropriate comment was used, and he repeated it as part of his answer.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man.
Which the inappropriate comment was used, and he repeated it as part of his answer.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass.
Which the inappropriate comment was used, and he repeated it as part of his answer.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable in the police department.
A few
He sound like he a superhero that was bragging in front of them. Every day, I would kick them crackers' ass. I was unbelievable as a police officer. I was Superman. Oh, man. And like I said, these are things that you say to trusted people without camera phones. I'm going to let you hear how he got caught, and I'm going to get on up out of here. I got a cigar I got to get to.
Tonight over the sudden posting on social media of a racially charged comment made by Eric Adams during a December 2019 appearance at the Harlem Business Alliance. The man who posted the video, Thomas Lopez Pierre of the Black Lives Matter Real Estate Forum, told me that he purposely picked the clip he posted, which was in the middle of a half-hour appearance by the mayor.
Why did you pick that specific point to start your clip?
Because we live in a social media world.
Because we live in a social media world. See, now pair that with what we just saw. We just saw them in the office demanding stuff. He's the first public official to hold a meeting with Black Lives Matter in New York. No matter how all the promises and all the vows to sit down and have a meeting, he was the first one to do it. I'm wondering if they let him know, hey, man, we got that tape. We got that tape, man. When you were talking about them crackers and how you kicked their ass.
Which the inappropriate comment was used, and he repeated it as part of his answer.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable in the police department.
A furor tonight over the sudden posting on social media of a racially charged comment made by Eric Adams during a December 2019 appearance at the Harlem Business Alliance. The man who posted the video, Thomas Lopez Pierre of the Black Lives Matter Real Estate Forum.
Black Lives Matter Real Estate Farm or Fund? But either way, Black Lives Matter Real Estate. What's that? y'all hiring because y'all get paper.
Told me that he purposely picked the clip he posted, which was in the middle of a half-hour appearance by the mayor.
Why did you pick that specific point to start your
Somebody should have told her to clean her room. I know I said it, but somebody should have told her to clean her room. I'm over here trying to be all neat. Look at my presentation. I'm trying to make y'all happy. She got the, hey man, gotta run twice as fast and jump twice as high.
your clip?
Because we live in a social media world, and I knew it would be attention grabbing.
Thomas Lopez Pierre also telling me he didn't release video of the appearance at the time because he thought it would hurt Eric Adams' chances of being elected mayor. He moved now, he said, because
he didn't release it because he thought it would hurt his chances to be mayor. I think he didn't release it because he didn't have any dirt on anybody else that was running. And if he released it, that probably would have derailed him at that point in time. So he just held on to it as leverage. Come here, boy! And just released it on him and just said, why you release it? Because we live in a social media world. I knew where to get attention.
Adams has been spending too much time talking about hiring more cops and not about improving the economic health of minority communities.
All I agree. Is cops this, cops that. Listen, black people have been getting killed. There have been more black people killed this year than police officers. Police officers decided to put on a uniform. They decided to take the risk.
Lopez Pierre, whose brother was killed by an off-duty cop during a carjacking, is no stranger to controversy. Running for city council in 2017, he tried to use
I think he's about to run again. He ran for city council in 2017. I think he's gearing up to do it again. Yeah. That's what I think.
$100,000 in taxpayer dollars taken from public campaign matching funds to spread anti-Semitic hate attacks against his opponent, Councilman Mark Levine.
And that's how the news gonna do you. See, he think that he just snitching on Eric Adams, and then the news turn around and snitch on him. You see how that works? Oh yeah. And while he's telling on the good mayor, he also stole a bunch of money, or he used money to talk trash, that anti-Semitic stuff against certain people, and I can't get all into that. I'm not trying to get banned. I'm just getting back.
He tried to use $100,000 in taxpayer dollars taken from public campaign matching funds to spread anti-Semitic hate attacks against his opponent, Councilman Mark Levine.
They had to get him. He probably thought that was in 2017. We in 2022. There's a lot of stuff going on. I probably could get away with just releasing this on him, and they might not say nothing about me because I'm trying to run again. But nah, it don't work like that. They got both of y'all.
Late today, Adams apologized.
Inappropriate comments should not have been used. Someone asking me a question using that comment and playing on that word.
That is hilarious. He says, somebody asked me a question using that comment, so I returned it playing on that word. The word that he said was cracker, which means somebody asked him a question with the word cracker in it. Now, if they did and he answered to it, if it was a setup, I don't know how bright he is. And also, who got the courage to ask that kind of question? What kind of private event were they at? That's what I need to know. Who asked a question like this to a guy that's about to load up and run for mayor, highest-ranking police officer? Hey, Eric, how you doing, officer? How you feeling, brother? How you feeling? How you out there doing it with them crackers? Who does that? Who is going to ask him a question with the word cracker in it? That's why I'm not saying it didn't happen. I want to know what kind of private meeting were y'all in where questions get asked and answered like that. I'm not saying I ain't never been in no meetings like that. I'm not saying I won't attend no meetings like that. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you got caught, and now I want to know who asked you the question with the word cracker in it. Hey, officer, you tough on them crackers out there? And then you turn around and answer it with the word cracker in your answer. Now, I want to know, is this true? The guy from Black Lives Matter, I know he's going to come out and say whether this is true or not, but the explanation, it was classic. It was classic. All of this stuff is, all of these people are in political hot water already. Eric Adams, he's trying to be too hard. Put my hand behind his head. You're trying to be too hard on people with the police, man. You know what it's like. You tripping.
Funds to spread anti-Semitic hate attacks against his opponent, Councilman Mark Levine. Late today, Adams apologized.
Inappropriate comments should not have been used. Someone asking me a question using that comment and playing on that word, I responded in that comment. But clearly, it's a comment that should not be used, and I apologize not only to those who heard it, but
things you should only say in the privacy of your home.
To New Yorkers, because they should expect more from me, and that was inappropriate.
The police unions are standing four square with Adams. Both the PBA and the detectives union say actions speak louder than words.
If you weren't here earlier, I'm going to cover this again. That does make me think that he is true about being super tough on crime, because the police unions and the PBA, they're behind him. He done called them all crackers. I was tough on them crackers when I was in police, putting my foot all up in me. And they are sitting there like, hey, you know what? No big deal. We're behind him anyway, which makes me think that they may be using this as leverage also. Because think about it. You're a white guy and you're in a union, and you don't like hearing people say stuff like crack. Who like hearing stuff like that said about him? And this is somebody who may have been your contemporary at one time, your boss at one time, and he's out here talking about, look, Harry, you seen how I did them crackers? And so they're going to hold some type of internal animosity. I wonder how this is all going to act out. Like I said, I'm laughing and joking, and these things do seem small, but politically, y'all all seen Scandal. Y'all know how this type of stuff go. Is he gonna need Olivia Pope? I don't know, because think about the things that have come back to bite people that were less than this. Whoopi Goldberg just got suspended for saying something that she thought. He said something that's clearly gonna make certain white folks mad within the police officer ranks, and they sitting there like, we ain't even tripping. We ain't tripping. But actions speak louder than words. That scares me.
Is because they should expect more from me, and that was inappropriate.
The police unions are standing four square with Adams. Both the PBA and the detectives union say actions speak louder than words. And Adams' support for cops being shot and killed says it all. A few seconds of video.
When is it that they keep talking about, and I'm not giving no applause to police officers being shot and killed. That's not what I'm doing. But I don't hear them, they're not even talking about the people who are getting shot and killed by the police officers. And that's the obvious bone of contention. They're not even covering that. And it seems like he has, like I told the story earlier about how when I was laying there on the ground waiting on more police officers to come look at me like an animal, and this black lady who's also an officer walks up to me, and she is talking to me worse, harsher, and doing me dirtier than all the rest of them. I felt like she had something to prove. I feel the same way about Eric right here, Eric Adams. That's his last name? Yeah, Eric Adams. I feel the same way about him. I think when black people sometimes get in these positions, they be like, well, one, I want to keep my job. I want to get reelected. I want to have the connections. I want to be able to make the investments. I want to further my agenda. I want to further my family status. I want to further my legacy. And to do that, I gotta play the game. And the game get a whole bunch of people put up on the wall like this. Like, hey man, what I do, I didn't do it. They be like, you going to jail, you're going to jail. And so, that's my worry. That is my worry.
With Adams, both the PBA and the Detectives Union say actions speak louder than words. And Adams' support for cops being shot and killed says it all. A few seconds of video will not define our relationship, said PBA President Pat Lynch. In the newsroom, I'm...
And y'all go look up Pat Lynch. For him to say that,
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Marsha Kramer, CBS 2 News.
That's it, y'all. I'm going to get on up out of here. Hey, if you guys are in here, thank you very much. Thank you. Let me find, I got something for y'all, for the people in here. You guys are everything plus 10. I'm going to give an extended just for you. Thank you very much. Hey, this is Soapbox Heroes. Pay attention to Eric Adams because a lot of times what happens in New York ends up trending throughout the rest of the country. If you see a whole bunch of brothers with their face up against the wall, what the hell? People you go to work with just end up missing and they in jail and you're like, they just don't seem like the criminal type. It may be because a good partner right here, that's tough on crime all the time. Look, I just got a text says, play what he said again. What? Get in the comments. Why you texting me? But I will. I'm a sucker. I do it for y'all. I'm going to play what he said again. Let me get over here. Let's see. Eric Adams. You got this. I laughed. And I feel like a hypocrite, and I may be, but I laughed real deep down in my stomach, like the bottom of my gut. It was just funny, like a comedian has said it, and it was just the way he just glided right through it like it was a green light, like he glided through it like a hot knife through some butter. He glided through it like he was in a Hummer going through a little bit of water. He glided through it like a jet ski on the water. But he got caught.
Gotcha, bitch.
Oh, here we go.
And now to an apology from Mayor Adams for an inappropriate comment he made in 2019 about white police officers.
The video was made public today, and CBS 2's political reporter Marsha Kramer investigated.
Although he apologized to New Yorkers late today, Mayor Adams tried to put the comment in context, saying he was responding to a question in which the inappropriate comment was used, and he repeated it.
Hold on, let me see what we got here. Would you say Aaron Holmes? I got your back. Noonie Lovely, thank you, Noonie. I got your back too. We got some things to do. I'm going to give you a call here very soon. We got some things to do. Listen to what he said. This is hilarious. It is hilarious, but he got caught.
Gotcha, bitch.
As part of his answer.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable in the police department.
Which the inappropriate.
Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable in the police department. Every day in the police department, I kicked those crackers' ass, man. I was unbelievable in the police department.
Do you guys believe that the police union and all these other white guys that are high-ranking officers all the way down to your guys who walk the beat, you don't think they feel a certain way about this? Yo, mayor saying that. Remember, they turned their back on de Blasio. I think it was de Blasio. For less. for less, turn their back on him, the mayor. Walking through, it's a whole bunch of police officers there, and they all turn their back to him. They do it again. I can't even turn all the way around. We're about to pull cords out. But they turned all the way around on him. And he says this, and they like, we got his back. Hey, man, I think they're going to be kicking people ass and throwing them in jail. This is Soapbox Heroes. My name is Tyrone Nervin.